I'm not a life coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm a mom. I wanted to share something. I think both of these were really good. One is the patience, right? That we get impatient with our progress from day to day. I know I do. I wish I could just get myself to a place where I'm done, right? I'm done worrying about everything. It's true. We worry. And we worry about, they were both good. It's when I succumb to worry, I open a Pandora's box of terrifying pictures, paranoid voices, and relentless self-criticism. You go to the Kingdom Hall, you have terrified pictures of what will happen to the people that you love around you, right? And then self-criticism, well, you don't need to do that because they do it for you. You're not doing enough, ever. You're never doing enough. You got to be out there or blood is on your hands, right? And terrifying pictures, well, you don't need to have terrifying pictures made up in your head. I just pulled out an old book. Where is it? I don't think I have it, but yeah, scary. And your children have these terrifying pictures that they have to look at. I know I have this one. Now, I don't know if I put this up here. Now I have to put a whole nother little thing before my video. So I kind of didn't want to do that, but do you remember this? And I obviously wasn't a good parent, right? Because I let my child draw all over it. But it's interesting because she drew over something. She didn't do all of the other ones. She just happened to do that one. And it happened to be on David and Goliath. And that's what I wanted to share with you, is that, I have, if you have faith at all, right? If you have any faith left, it certainly is embarrassing to have faith. I don't know if you feel that way, but I know that when I explain to certain people, you feel very uncomfortable because they think you're odd, because you pray and you admit it. And, it's more and more popular to be agnostic. You know that something's there, but you're not going to, what is the word? You're not going to really commit, right? You don't want to commit to it. And I get that. I think we've never seen anything on a global scale from what we read in Moses, right? We've never seen anything like that. The Nile turned into blood. We've never seen people being resurrected from the dead. We've never seen people healed. I mean, really healed. I was listening to a speech motivator, and I wish I had gotten his name. It was one of those little ads that came quickly from whatever you were watching on YouTube. And he helps Hollywood types to remember certain things, helps people who can't seem to grasp things. He had a hard time in school, and they told him he wasn't a very good learner. He wasn't going to be able to do well in school. And he didn't do very well in school. I wish I had got his name. It was really one of those fast ads. And I really don't even know what he was trying to sell. But he was explaining that when you have an emotional connection with a learning experience, right? You have an emotional connection. Something hit you along with the learning, the knowledge, that you learn more, right? And Jesus was a perfect example of that. I mean, not only did he give them something, teach them something, but he gave them something, right? He actually physically helped them with their illnesses. And we've never experienced that. I mean, really experienced that. People will go on treks to Italy, to the Vatican, and drink the water that's there. But to actually, no, it should be a physical experience that everybody on the earth should see, right? I mean, if this person is a healer, and then your emotion, you know, not just learn emotionally, but you learn better, because your emotions and the learning experience are connected. Your body is feeling better. Your brain is feeling better. You saw something magnificent. Yeah, we've never seen that. So I think, for people of faith, it's hard. It's hard to explain what no one has seen here on the earth. We've seen a lot of badness. And then, unfortunately, this is not a good picture. We're dealing with Goliath-like. We're dealing with if you've left Jehovah's Witnesses, you've left a Goliath-like presence in your life. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Corporation, the Society Corporation, has its tentacles, both in riches and politics, even though they say they don't. And then also in people's hearts and minds. It's so corrupt they can't get out. It seems like if you are a person that left, you're a little guy like David. And so we have to fight against a lot of our inner demons, along with the things that we see that we can't explain, and the things that we want. I know I want a better world. I want this man back. If he wants to go to heaven, fine. Right? If he wanted to go to heaven, it would be a choice. You could either go to heaven or you could stay here on the earth. I want to stay here on the earth. That's what I see myself doing. I know these are strange things, especially for people who don't have faith. And I don't believe this, right? They don't believe this way. My husband does not believe the way I do. We have totally different views on life. And that's okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate that we get called out as Christians for not being Christian. I appreciate that. I sat down and I cried when I found out that Christopher Hitchens died. Because we need people like that on the earth to say, hey, you're not doing it right. You screwed up and you can't blame me for not wanting it. I get it. We are, if you are faithful, fighting Goliath-like obstacles. But I want to be encouraging to those that have left the faith, and I haven't left my faith. And this man, he didn't either. And he said it in much better words than I did, and that I can. So I'm going to read it to you. Let's see. It's on page 90, and it's about halfway down. It was some relief to my hard notions of the goodness of God, that although he made white men to be slaveholders, he did not make them to be bad slaveholders, and that in due time he would punish the bad slaveholders, that he would, when they died, send them to the bad place, where they would be burnt up. Nevertheless, I could not reconcile the relation of slavery with my crude notions of goodness. Then, too, I found that there were puzzling exceptions to this theory of slavery on both sides and in the middle. I knew of blacks who were not slaves. I knew of whites who were not slaveholders. And I knew of persons who were nearly white who were slaves. Color, therefore, was a very unsatisfactory basis for slavery. Once, however, engaged in the inquiry, I was not very long in finding out the true solution of the matter. Well, this is the point. It was not color, but crime. Not God, but man, that afforded the true explanation of the existence of slavery. Nor was I long in finding out another important truth. What man can make, man can unmake. I like that. So I think when we have these Goliath-like problems, the importance of actually recognizing that the bottom line is for us as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, it was man that corrupted things. It was man. And I remember, when I read Job, it was about God being a bystander. He just sat, he's looking at it, and yeah, it's unfair. It's unfair. We have to admit that as a parent. My husband says, well, where is he? And I get that, but I also understand that it's bigger than what we see. And so ultimately, man can change. Man can make changes. And I think as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, we want those changes because we want our families back. I know we want our families back, and we want to see them see what they are dealing with, that it's more of a monster than it is a protector. It is more of an abuser than a nurturer. That the Goliath that we're dealing with is a corporation who has nothing more. There's no more intent than to get itself richer. So, yeah. Prayer and meditation and shutting out the noise. Because it says, as I shut out the noise, I am more receptive to my higher power's will and therefore much more able to work my way through difficult times. So looking at the past, for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, looking at the past, I think looking at the past is it's hard to understand why I did what I did. It took so long. But I encourage you to look at the past. Eric Wilson has some good videos. They're a little bit long. You might have to break them up. But looking at our sketchy past as Jehovah's Witnesses is very important for our future as individuals. I think if I had looked without fear of what the past actually showed, it wouldn't have taken me this long. So that's what I encourage, is to look in the past. Look at our past. Some of the most interesting people have called Christians out on their bad behavior. As Christians, they didn't behave as Christians. Jehovah's Witnesses were always we're told to be proud of our hereditary spiritual heritage. That's what they call it, a spiritual heritage. They've made it so difficult to look into any of the books in the past. The Revelation book, which wasn't that long ago that it was written, but we can't access that on the JW.org website, along with other books like Children and different books. The truth book. These things are not available, along with the books that were around when Brother Rutherford was alive and Brother Russell. That bothers me. And that bothered me. And I did tell my elders that it bothered me. Why? They have all this technology. They're building this ridiculous media center. You know, I get here in my in my morning routine before the day starts, and I get my coffee and I sit here and I do my little spiel. Take care of my husband in the morning, get our breakfast. How easy would it have been for any of those governing body members to do the same thing? They don't need a media center. And most of our brothers and sisters, they're working. They would like to see a little pain on the side of, I would like to see them going through some difficulties. These men in positions. Nope, I see them getting on planes and hitting different continents of the world with their message. But that's not reality. That's not the average Jehovah's Witness reality. They go to work. They have families. A lot of these governing body members don't have children. That's why it was so easy for Brother Let to say that children don't love. That's not true. They will love if the parent is a good parent, right? Yeah, no. Man is truly the... It was not color, but crime, not God, but man. What man can make, man can unmake. Our past is really important as Jehovah's Witnesses, to go really dig through our past. James Penton is in Eric Wilson's videos. I'm going to provide a link. And then Lloyd Evans had James Penton on his the bunker, and he was talking to him in the bunker and his show. And I encourage you to listen, because that's truly our past. And as witnesses, the people that were at the beginning, Barbara Anderson, James Penton, older people, Eric Wilson, JT, because he was in Bethel, right? He lived in Bethel. He saw the things that really happened in Bethel. To listen to their experiences, and that helps you to understand that our past as Jehovah's Witnesses is no better than Babylon the Great around us. And I'm proud of you if you still have faith, because we're dealing with Goliath-like obstacles. But we have to remember, that we're not alone in the process. And what I appreciate about atheists and agnostics and Catholics and Christians of different faith is that there are good people, Buddhists, Hindus, people in between that realm of this straight path that they feel that there are people that don't have that path that help you along. And I see as good people. And as a Christian, I want them along. I want to bring them along with me. I don't care that they don't accept the Christ. I don't. I want them there with me. I want them to see. Maybe they will. If they see what I see, if we see miracles on the earth, right? Miracles, real miracles, where it's touching everybody, everyone. Doesn't matter what religion, doesn't matter what color, right? That's why it bugs me so much about only Jehovah's Witnesses will be saved. I've never believed that. I don't know how I can explain that to you. I just never have ever believed that, ever. I've never believed that, not in my heart and soul. I've never believed that. In this little story, it says David had said, "You come to me with a sword and a spear and a javelin, but I am coming to you with the name of Jehovah. This day, Jehovah will give you into my hands, and I will strike you down." It's in 1 Samuel 17, 1 through 54. You come to me with a sword and a spear and a javelin, but I am coming to you with the name of Jehovah. This day, Jehovah will give you into my hands, and I will strike you down. I'm looking forward to that day, when our God will strike down this horrible, existing corporation. Not the people so much, just the people that know better and know what they're doing to hurt the sheep. I think of the sheep that I left behind in my congregation. They were my sheep. They were my sheep. And they are hurting because of lies. I want them out of the pen. I want freedom. I want freedom. Freedom. I want freedom for those people I left behind. And I know others do too, regardless of how they believe. They want freedom for them. One day at a time, even through difficult times. Muhammad Shabistari. The past has flown away. The coming month and year do not exist. Ours only is the present's tiny point. Enjoy your present. Enjoy your present. Follow your bliss. Be good humans.